Welcome one, welcome all to episode 277 of the Xbox Expansion Pass, recorded on Saturday, May 31st, 2025. Me, Insipid Ghost, joined by my co-host, the intrepid Captain Logan. Today we'll be discussing our predictions for Summer Game Fest, the Xbox Showcase, and the Switch 2. There's also some game cancellations in the mix that we got to break down. But Logan, we like to start the show by offering words of kindness to those who have made our gaming weeks better. But first, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. It was a shorter week because of Memorial Weekend, so I felt like I had to work harder in a shorter amount of time instead of being able to relax and enjoy the shorter week. So that's always fun. But it's the weekend now, which means that I'm going to do game. I'm going to game because I'm a gamer.
Yep.
And we're waiting. I don't know, dude. I'm just excited for SGF at this point. I don't know what else I could try and shill as like normal gaming stuff. I'm just sitting here like looking at like the list of stuff that we're going to be doing, and I'm like, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. I've been stretched very like to the max between work, home, and gaming, all for good causes, all in good reasons. But it's just like, oh man, I try to pretend that I'm a type B person because that's like how I present. But I've had to be very type A of late, and the amount of things in our schedule, the games we're seeing, the opportunities we get to have, fantastic. But it has meant that other stuff has slipped through the cracks. Do you know what I did? This is something when you're scheduling hotel rooms, I shorted myself a day by accident because I was reading the checkout times wrong, and I was just so like juggling. So I've had to email them and be like, hey, I need my room for one more day, and it's just like, and like, there's a prorated thing in there, and it's just like, oh no, I might be shuffling my little like cart thingy down Figueroa Street looking for Ains, buddy, save me.
I tell you, there's something about knowing that you could just put your luggage somewhere, and just as long as you have a place to like put your luggage, you're good, because you can survive a day or so like with very little, like you can sit in like a lobby and just like lay your head back and crash. Nobody's gonna like nobody during a convention is going to be like, I can't believe he's fallen asleep in the lobby in that chair. That is absolutely uncouth. How dare you? No, everyone's gonna be like, oh man, he's finally catching some Z's. He's probably been running on his feet all day.
We are running nonstop, actually. So there's a lot going on. I'll talk about our schedule in a second, but I do want to give a quick shout out to Clutch Kwando, first in the house today. Nissa Hauer, always here, being amazing. Warren Henderson hanging out. Zach Riley is here. A Chick, lovely to see you, and of course our buddy Anubis316. Good to see you all. But yeah, Logan, I got to figure out how to get that extra day in there, and then I had to go tell my wife, be like, hey boo, it can be another. I'm gonna do another day here. And then the day after we get back, my wife has surgery. Like, so I get off the plane, we have a day, and then we go to Raleigh the next day, and she's having her surgery at Duke. So it's like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. But when I looked at all the stuff we had scheduled, we're go from Friday, from Summer Game Fest through that night. And then the next day we have it starting at, this is hard for me, 10 a.m. all the way through the evening. Awesome stuff. Excited to see it. We're seeing some indies. We're seeing some AAA stuff. So we can't talk about it yet, but we're we have some really cool chances, like for a small site like ours and our community being amazing, like to get to go see some of this stuff is awesome. And the crazy part is, Logan, some of it we don't know. They're like, hey, you'll find out when you get there. And it's like, all right.
Yeah. We got a surprise thing that you might want to check out from company you know very well. And it's like, well, I kind of have a feeling I know what that would be, but dude, I don't know. Could be anything.
Exactly. And then it's like, hey, secret game. And I'm like, can I get a genre? Like, if you bring me into a graphic novel presentation with respect, that's not for me. You know what I'm saying?
Emails are like, can I buy a vowel?
Yeah. It's like, give me something. Give me an idea. But I think there are 3 things on the list of stuff that we've scheduled that I'm like, let's go. I'm very excited for this. And it's very Luke style stuff. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm not walking up to Gears E-Day and being like, hello, I have a tattoo now, like nothing like that. Good to see you, Suddy. Good to see you, X Bacon Gaming and Eddie Dotune. Good to see you guys. Yeah, please do hit the like button. We would appreciate it. That would be great. That would be great, guys. Get the show out there. Logan, we start with words of kindness. That's our jam.
Yeah.
Can I start this week? Do you mind?
Yeah, go for it.
My friend, as I said, it's been so busy, right? Like having the success at school. My students did so well, which is rare in these times. I'm very proud of them. Winning the award was lovely, but it's been go. And with the attention comes like schedules being built up. But yesterday I got to do some XEP stuff and interview Matt Piscatella, which was, when I tell you that that gentleman could not have been nicer, more accommodating, more willing to talk. I mean it. Like, he was just so kind to me. And you never know, right? When you're a smaller podcaster on the smaller side, and especially we have Xbox in the name. So like some people will make assumptions like, oh, you're going to be anti this or that. And Matt came in, he came in, he taught our audience, he taught me, he was willing to entertain what had to be, surface level, silly questions of like, how do you not know this? But then I learned growth market, mature market. I learned a lot. He was just awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually like give a little bit of spoilers for folks who haven't watched it yet. This is a really good interview that talks about how the essence of what gaming is from like an actual like money standpoint has seen a very interesting stagnation, and not because it's bad, but because the people who buy games have pretty much bought the games and consoles that they want. That the spending is relatively the same. It's interesting to hear from Matt talk about how gaming is kind of getting back to where it was about 10 to 15 years ago, even through inflation, which is surprising to me, considering like the fact that we have seen exponential growth in costs of goods and stuff that we don't normally see. So even though we are having to spend more money in other places and we're not making more money than we were. Hi, Baba. We are still having. No, that's her normal. That's the norm. That was her loving. I want to get pet right now. That's always how she is.
Well, get the cat some love. Where's the cat at?
Well, she walked off. I can't do anything about that. I'm sitting in the chair. I'm rooted now. Can't get a show started. Can't get up and grab cat. That's not how game podcast work.
All right, I'm sorry.
You see where she learns it from. So it was really cool to see, like, even though we're having to spend more money everywhere else, it is still paramount to gamers that we want to game, that we want to spend money gaming. And even though we've seen tons of closures, even though we've seen a lot of turmoil with console manufacturers and trying to decide how to approach the next generation of systems, whether it be Xbox bringing their games everywhere with Game Pass and different ecosystems and stuff like that, PlayStation playing the long game with their traditional market trends, and Nintendo kind of monopolizing the handheld space and kind of shifting what's expected between like a game, a home console and like a handheld. They are still doing about as well as they were back at the height of when games were like really, really popular. And even back to when we had the scare of when we thought like console sales were dipping and people thought consoles weren't going to last. So it's a fantastic interview. You did a really good job of navigating the space between marketing and spending and how that relates to gaming. So if you guys haven't gotten a chance to go check that out, definitely make sure you go watch that interview. It's just under an hour, and it was a really informative insight into data analytics and how that affects us. But at the very core value of it, really doesn't mean a whole lot to the actual companies, because it's kind of par for the course for them. Everything about like what we see in the market and how things are doing is really kind of on like the fan side.
Yeah, I appreciate the kind words. I thank you, and I see the wonderful people in chat saying similar things, and I'm appreciative because it was one that I did a lot of research for.
Yeah.
And sometimes as the interviewer, you do the thing where you ask the question you know the answer to lead to the next thing. And I could tell he was accommodating me on that in a wonderful way. And so it was enjoyable, and it felt good. And I think people that caught it did get to enjoy it. So that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah. Well, look, man, those were Matt was my words of kindness. Did you have one somebody that you wanted to shout out?
Yeah. He's a really nice guy. He's a little weird. But I wanted to shout out my buddy Luke Lohr, because he's been he's got a thing, but I don't like to tease him about it. But if he ends up fidgeting with something during a podcast, it's because that's his way of addressing, like how he's having to fidget with something.
Yeah.
But he's done a fantastic job. If you guys don't know, we've been doing the fundraising for SGF for a hot minute now, and we were fully funded now. But in the back end of all of that, Luke has been emailing people, emailing PR, looking to schedule interviews, asking PR companies like, is it okay if I have a +1? I'd like to bring my co-host in on this, and forwarding me stuff, like working with me so that we can sync up our calendars. Because the 3 days that we're going to be doing shows that I'll be there for are jam-packed full of stuff. And we've been like getting a slew of like promotional stuff as well too. So people letting us know like, hey, we're going to be there. Would you like to check this out? Would you like to check that out? Mm-hmm. And then we coordinate a lot of that. And the back and forth on that from his perspective is a lot more work than most people really would ever expect for a free podcast. So shout out to you for putting in the due diligence, for putting in the work. And then shout out to the patrons, to the subscribers, to the occasional super chat and super sticker folks, to the people that just listen, like, and share and subscribe. Your guys' investment in us is the fuel that we need to keep doing all of the work that has been going on behind the scenes, just to make SGF exciting for when we come back to talk about all the cool stuff that we're looking forward to seeing.
Yeah. Right. Well said. I appreciate your kind words, and thank you again to our whole community, because it's a lot of coordination, and I can only imagine, like, that's from our end. I can only imagine people that have bigger operations.
Multiple people. Interviewing people, like recording video stuff. Like, I can't, looking at how much back and forth that you have done compared to what, like, I imagine IGN has to deal with.
Right.
There's got to be like a whole logistics team just for that. Yeah. And it's wild the amount of planning that has to go on for that.
The interesting thing is all the stuff that we're not going to see because we're there on site doing other things. So, like, we're going to be there. We're doing a lot, guys. We're going to be at play days you'll be there for 2 play days for 2 days.
Yeah.
I'll be there for 3. Unless my hotel thing doesn't work out. But, like, I'll be there for 3 days. And in that window of time, we're going to see a lot, and we're going to miss all of IGN Live, right? Like, we won't even get to that site because it's at a different location, and it's a lot. Freight Conductor, one of our most staunch supporters, asks us a poignant question. Are you doing content while at SGF, or just commenting on it all when you get back? So we actually haven't had that true discussion yet, Freight Conductor, but I'll let you in on my thought process, and Logan comment as well. We get to do some like filming while we're there. Some of the B-roll gets sent to us. My thought process is we'll make shorts and like short videos for our socials and for the YouTube like short section about what's going on. Like, I know we owe you a wearing our Crocs to the airport thing. Like, we're gonna have to make shorts for that. We're going to I'm wearing the Fallout Boy Vault Boy suit, as it were. Oh god. To Not Summer Game Fest, because we have an appointment right after. That's an industry event, right? And that would not be appropriate nor welcome attention in that case. But I'm wearing that to the fan fest, right? that's a great place for everybody to make fun of me and be silly. And I'm thoroughly embarrassed, I will tell you that, to wear this thing. So like clips and videos from that, absolutely going to happen. As far as us doing a podcast from there, not to my knowledge, just because of the logistics and the amount of time. However, if let's say we run into the Xbox era guys and they were like, hey, come join us. Yes, we would do that if our schedule allows and stuff like that. So it's a mixed answer to your question, but a good one, especially with us talking. And you've been so supportive. So we are going to do right as much as we can by coverage in real time, but it's got to be quality. I don't want us just being like, this thing, we're here, can't talk about it, that kind of thing. But as far, I mean, Logan, those were my thoughts. And again, behind Inside Baseball, does that make sense to you? Or are you thinking something different? What do you think we could pull off that maybe I'm not thinking about?
So if this works, there is a chance that I will probably buy us some wireless lapel mics. And if we get time, if there's like a time where we're feeling like, little spry, we may sit down with like a tripod and a phone, throw up a live stream, do a little Q&A, and see if we can answer some questions for chat for folks if we can. If that's something that works out, I've got the equipment for it, aside from the lapel mics, which is just going to be Bluetooth to the phone, and the phone's just going to live stream probably off of Wi-Fi or something like that. So those are kind of like the tentative plans. But for all intents and purposes, a lot of what I'm going to be doing is kind of walking around, recording what I'm allowed to, and uploading that to our YouTube as like shorts and stuff like that. So that's kind of the main goal. Full on podcast, really hard to do remotely. I've had to do them in the past. Going over to like SOT Fest in London, it's extremely hard to guarantee that you're getting good quality for a podcast. So that's unfortunately when you're in a lobby for a hotel, it is really hard to throw a podcast together and have it sound good without a bunch of background noise or people walking up not realizing you're doing a podcast and wanting to interact with you. So for situations like that, it's a lot easier to kind of do like a impromptu ad hoc like live stream, just to kind of say like, hey guys, we're going to be doing this. Right. Catch us in 30 minutes from now with questions ready for any of the stuff that you might have seen or heard about online. If we've seen it and played it, we might be able to speak to it depending on how, like companies want us to address that. But that's kind of the current plan from my perspective as we go into SGF, because I want to try and get you guys content day of. But a lot of that is going to depend on how much free time we actually have, which again, if you guys saw our schedule, we are very tightly booked, and there's some stuff that we're even kind of overlapped with. Yeah.
The so I'll a couple questions in chat for like our schedule and what we could do. Silken asking or saying a post SGF Q&A on Friday sounds dope. There was a plan for that, and then we got invited to X thing, which
we got invited to two things.
Two thing? Oh, we did.
We're gonna have to skip out on one of them.
Oh, you're right.
And we got tickets to it as well too. So we can talk about it, but there's two things on Friday afternoon that one of them we were like, yes, hi, I will be there. You can invite me. And the other one's like, hey, if you guys want to come, definitely throw us a thing and we'll jump in there. And we're like, okay, cool. That sounds good. Luke, you want to do that? Yeah. So we forgot about it. I didn't forget about it, but we haven't.
But I will say, truly, for anybody that wants access to like quick thoughts, if you're in our Discord, we're going to set up a section for SGF and Showcase, and we'll be kind of popping in there in our in-between time and answering questions too. So if you are a member of our Discord via Patreon or YouTube channel, let us know. Like we can address questions that way. But some of the stuff is just embargoed. Now there's media rooms at SGF that we can go into and do stuff. And I can bring my tripod, Logan, and my camera does have a good mic on it. So like we can get that. It's just a matter of what's allowed to be shown in our time spans and stuff. Freight Conductor asking, I was thinking more interviews and coverage videos as opposed to podcast. Good question. It depends per outlet what they're willing and wanting to show, whether they want to answer questions on air or not. We get to find some of that out ahead of time. Some of that's kind of in real time. So if we can, yes. If we can, yes. If we can't, know that it was not for lack of effort. But we'll come back. A lot of the embargoes lift by the time our next show is ready for recording. And so we will definitely have diligent notes and get to answer stuff, take your questions, and bring you like coverage thoughts. We get B-roll and things like that. So we are going to put together content and do right by you for sure. For sure.
Yep.
Addie Dotun says, how about divide and conquer? We are split on several events and together on several events. So it depends on what it is and what we have mutual interest in and what we want mutual experience in. So we do divide and conquer a good bit. So there's a lot of that. Good questions though, guys. We do appreciate all of that. Yeah, and keep the questions coming. So there's lots to talk about. I see Syrup 2 is in chat. Good to see you. The Nerd Chat is hanging out with us. Good to see you guys. Looks like Joseph Miranda is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Saw your workout. Looks good, man. Looks good. And I think that covers our new people. Yep.
Jam Pack Sam coming in saying, I heard embargoes are just suggestions. I vote all day live stream, no holds bar. Homeboy here wanting us to get like chest cameras to be recording conversations for legal disputes later on. Like,
yeah, that's gonna go great. We want to go back. We want to get reinvited back. That's for sure. But my main goal for the event is for Logan, because this is his first one, to create memories that cannot be done, like taken away in the best of ways. Right. We really want,
I want to know what Phil Spencer smells like. That's the kind of memory I'm trying to create here.
All right. But I want it to be a good experience for him. And then I want us to continue to open doors and whatnot. And I'll show you something. I've been doing some cleaning. I'm cleaning out, getting ready for a yard sale and stuff. And in general, just trying to make way. Mm-hmm. When I was at E3 2019, this is a business card from King David from Iron Lord's podcast. 2019, he gave this to me, and I've never thrown it away. I wish David was able to watch live or knew that I still had this, but I keep this up here as a reminder just what connections can be, because I just like the Iron Lords are great for us, and I don't have time to watch an 8-hour podcast every Sunday, and they don't have time to watch ours every day. Like, right. I think David's stuff runs concurrent with us half the time, but like those are connections and friendships that are made. And to me, that's the best part. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Xbox era guys. I'm looking forward to you and I have never met in person despite working together for years.
Yeah.
We've known each other for a long time, worked together on XEP for years at this point. I'm anxious for you to meet Joe and see Ainsley, and like Ainsley, like for no rational reason. Like I love Ainsley. Like I think of him like a big brother. I just do.
Well, he is also very tall.
He's not. He's not. No, he's my height. It's like 5'10", maybe 6 feet. I think.
What?
I think.
No, he's tall.
He's taller than me by like a smidgen.
Are
you tall?
Well, I'm like 6 foot.
Okay, so you're taller than me. So I'll be a little short king next to you. Hey, buddy. You know?
Are you gonna put on heels?
No.
Oh. Is Joe gonna put on heels?
No, I hope so.
Joe's short, right?
I'm excited to see Joe because he started this incredible weight loss journey, and I really am ready to celebrate that for him because I'm just so proud of him working so hard with that, like truly putting in the work. And I'm excited. This sounds so silly, but like I really want to run into some people from the Doom or the Gears team because like to me this is a huge deal. I'm almost 40. This is my first tattoo. Well, like this is a hugely spiritual thing for me. For anyone that knows my story, I want to see Hugo Martin and be like, look what I got, man.
Yeah.
I want to see the Gears team be like, hey, thank you. If I see Rod Ferguson again, hey man, thank you. You know what I mean? Like that to me matters. Like those are the things that I love. And anyone that's watched our interviews has seen it. I found out yesterday in real time that Matt Piscatella worked on Arkham.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like, are you kidding me? Like,
Oh,
that's
wow.
cool stuff. Last year I had one of the coolest moments ever when I ran into the head of the people making Arkham Shadow. And I was just like, hey, thanks for working on Arkham. Do you remember the story?
Mhm.
I saw his shirt. I was like, hey, thanks for making Arkham. He's like, what's your name? You gonna play the game? I was like, I want to, but I don't have a quest. Man, I love my quest, and I'm so ready for this summer because I've got so many quest games that I'm just ready to go back into because we've been so busy with this is like gauntlet we've run.
TMNT's coming out with a video game for VR as well too.
Yes.
I almost bought the Jurassic Park game on PSVR 2 last night because it's like $3. But then I watched the video again for it and realized I don't have adult diapers to be able to justify wearing during that kind of a VR game.
Yeah.
So I held off, but it's like still one of those things. It's like I'm still half tempted to get it, but no, I'm not gonna. Dude, I love Jurassic Park. I don't want to be in Jurassic Park. I would like cry.
What could go wrong?
Lots of stuff could go wrong, and none of it is having to do with dinosaurs. Everything is like me having to go clean up myself after being scared shitless because there's a raptor like around the corner that is just like they're like, oh, just don't let Blue see you. And I'm like, oh yeah, don't let the prehistoric hunter raptor see me in the kitchen while I go turn off shut up, person on the radio. You don't even know what you're talking. It's not $3 worth to like feel bad about myself when I have to just like.
I can feel bad about myself for free. Real quick, Addy Dotune says Doom the Dark Ages is a pure gore fest. I love it. I'm glad you love it. I also love it. I've seen some people in Scuttlebutt, and I was listening to Defining Duke recently. People are like upset that it doesn't feel like Doom because of the parry. And I would argue those people are playing on difficulties or tweaking their sliders in such a way that it probably doesn't. But the core Doom mentality of strafe and shoot is more evident in Dark Ages than it was in Eternal and 2016. And so the core principle of what Doom is alive and well in this one. And if you keep your difficulty sliders on some of the presets or you up them, it's even crazier because Doom's meant to be played on ultra violence and stuff. But it's worth your time to if anyone's like, I'm on the fence, I don't know. Like, it's not a parry fest. It's a Doom fest, and it really is awesome. But, you know, I'm going to loop back. Did you see in recent weeks people saying that Doom Dark Ages didn't sell well? That, like, sold less than 1 million and they had only 3 million players? Yeah. One of the things I asked Matt Piscatello was, like, you know, they got nestled between Clair Obscura and Oblivion. Did that take away its time? And we talked about, like, the longer trail that some games have and don't. But I was kind of bummed that happened because I feel like the social spaces got drowned out. But I think it's a great video game.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. And the marketing for it's been fantastic. It not selling well does not correlate to what people think of the game and its resonance with Doom fans, because it feels very much like everyone is enjoying it. Everyone's having a good time with it. I got the Doom controller that I'm going to bring with me to SGF because because I'm going to try and get it signed. Because if I mean, dude, I have a wall of like prints from voice actors. Cool. I have Marcus Phoenix going, no, what does he say? Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, come on.
Oh, he's saying nice. And he actually did the nice while he was signing it. And it was that's the kind of memories that I'm going to bring one of my Doom controllers with me. So I can see if I can get Phil Spencer to sign it. I got little silver Sharpie on it and let him have that. And then that's going to go with my like little stuff of memorabilia that I have from when I get to meet people, because photos always look weird. You're always like, and it just looks weird because you're just like, yeah, I look weird. We're standing here kind of like supposedly having a moment, but it's not like a connection.
Sure.
The same way as when you ask someone to sign something, they're like, okay, well, do you want your name on it? And I'm like, yes, I want my name on it next to your name. so that we know we did this for just the 10 seconds that it takes.
Right.
And we can have a conversation about it afterwards or beforehand. But it's like having a signature with your signature on it, to me, is like one of the best ways. Because I had what was it? I got Cortana, and I also got Sissy Jones from
That's cool. Love Sissy Jones.
You know, like a Starfield. Like, and these are like the people that I've gotten to meet over like conventions and stuff like that. So going to Xbox or going to like SGF and stuff, seeing like some of these folks, these are the moments that I want to have, because to me, a photo is great. I've got a photo of me and Jeff Goldblum. I had a great conversation with it, but it's just a photo. It doesn't have that kind of physical, tangible connection the way it used to when we used to print out photos and stuff like that.
Right.
This very much the other way about it. So that's why, like, I'm looking forward to doing this, but I don't even remember how I got onto that.
No, we're talking Summer Game Fest and showcases. See this skate deck behind me?
Yeah.
That's the skate deck.
Can you say that again?
The skate deck behind me?
Yeah. It's long.
Oh, geez. That it's mounted up there, but it's the ID at Xbox skate decks I did for 2019. Phil Spencer signed it for me. So that's signed. And then I have from that same event over on a wall over there, the Sea of Thieves poster signed by Chapman, Joe Neat, a few other members of that team. Love that. Yeah, that's really cool, man. Hey, big shout out to Addy Zero. Member for 10 months. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, buddy. You've helped us get to SGF, and we appreciate you. I love those memory moments, as it were. Sea of Thieves, that's signed by Joe Neat. Nice. That's very cool. And Mike Chapman
at the bottom.
Very cool. Very cool.
I got to make Joe Neat feel very awkward, which was a highlight of my trip to London, because nothing says like you're getting invited to do anything at Rare like embarrassing the game director or the executive producer.
I have our cool XEP pins right here, which I'm excited to get
getting a photo with Phil wearing an XEP pin. That is a memory.
I made you a shirt. If we get to see him, I made Jason Ronald.
Is it knitted? Is it a crochet, not knitted?
No. But I made I made Jason Ronald a shirt, and then I have 3 others. I think maybe it's 2 others. Those are not cheap, man. I'll tell you what, those prices went up. But I had those made as well to give to certain people. Because I wanted
Obama.
Yeah, Tim. Just to help celebrate. And so, you know, it should be a good time, man. I'm really excited. Let's see. Freight Conductor says, I have Eastbound and Downs season 1 signed by Danny McBride and David Gordon Green. Better picture. Yeah. I don't know what that
cool.
is. I know Danny McBride.
Eastbound and Down is a good TV series, but Danny McBride and David Green are those are some pretty good to get those kind of signatures on that. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's something different about being there and actually experiencing something, to me, than getting a photo. So I'm very much looking forward to that experience, just because it's kind of like going to a BlizzCon, man. Like, you know, getting a poster signed or getting a statue signed by some of the devs that have been working on games. The stuff that we're going to see are going to include companies and probably developers for franchises that people love. And to me, that's exciting, because there's a reverence there that kind of speaks to just like some of the stuff that we love about games. You know, the stories that we're going to have are going to be tied intrinsically to not only just the ecosystems, but the characters that are created with a lot of these. So it's going to be really awesome to be able to experience this, which is why I'm very, very much invested in trying to get video as much as I can, even if it's like video of a video doing it and then uploading it later. I want to try and like get that experience shared for fans, so that like we can actually kind of like help bring them into some of the stuff that we're doing on the regular.
Agreed. No, fully agree. That's part of it, right? That's part of it. All right, man. Well, let's talk about some things we think we're gonna see there. some of the stuff that we expect to see. And then on the back end, we'll talk Black Panther towards the end of the show.
We're mixing it all up.
That's because I had a bad time getting everything scheduled. Good to see you, Abdel. Good to see you. And then Anubis said he met the Rare team at New York City Comic Con. That's dope. Clutch Kwando says he enjoyed Dark Ages more than Eternal. I love all three. I think honestly all three are fantastic, which is rare, right? Like, how do you get 3 hits in a row? That's wonderful. But I rank mine as 2016 Dark Ages Eternal, but they're all S tier. So, let's talk about Summer Game Fest, the Xbox showcase, and there's the Mix showcase. There's a lot going on. So Summer Game Fest, they announced their 2025 partners, and it is extensive. Like, it is extensive. So obviously in there you see things like Xbox, Nintendo is back in there listed for the first time in on a long time, which I thought was really cool.
Just the Switch 2 logo, which I did a little digging on that and watched a couple of videos on it. It is very, very interesting from Kit and Krista, who used to be like the PR reps for Nintendo. They were talking about how Nintendo showing the Nintendo Switch 2 logo says a lot about what is potentially going to be there for Nintendo Switch 2.
What are you thinking?
Well, I think they're going to show first and foremost Mario World or Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. But I think we are going to start seeing a lot more third-party support on the Switch 2 because of that. Because it's been mum from Xbox. Like, we have no clue what's coming over from Xbox. We've seen a few things for
annoyingly mum.
Yeah, very much like
we're having to have our own community fan fest.
Yeah,
that's very frustrating. A little disappointing, and by a little disappointing, I mean very disappointing. And shout out to the incredible people that are making that community fan fest happen.
Yeah, which is nice because it's like we still get like a little bit of that. Like, it sucks the first year that I get to go is the one year that they don't do it, and I'm like, oh man, it kind of would have been cool. I've been watching E3 since I was a kid, so but. Seeing Nintendo Switch 2 logo on there definitely suggests that there is going to be stuff for the Switch 2 and maybe just for Switch 2 stuff. So Nintendo's not going to be showing a whole lot of what they've got. It feels like they're going to be doing more of a marketing push for their new console. But seeing stuff like Niantic, that's weird, dude. Niantic is like the Pokemon Go franchise.
Right.
That's their bread and butter. They do a couple other stuff. Yeah, definitely. But everyone kind of knows Niantic because of Pokemon Go.
So hold on. Let me walk you back. Possibly. That could be. I mean, every time you watch Summer Game Fest or a Keeley event of any kind, it's laden with commercials. That might mean that they're partnered and they're saying, hey, here's our new Pokemon Go event.
That's fair too.
That might be what's happening.
Because there is a Pokemon event. There's a Pokemon Presents later in the month on June 22nd, I think, coming up. So they could be doing just like a Pokemon Go thing, and then having that be all that it's really tied to. Did you notice this is round 1?
I did notice that. I saw that was in the announcement, and that's interesting, and it tells me that they're keeping some things quiet by design, right? Like, if you were to put Rocksteady up there, they're not, but if you were to put Rocksteady up there, people are going to be like Arkham Remastered or something like that. So maybe there's some, like, if you put Halo Studios up there, well, then people are going to start running the gauntlet. It's like, is this Halo Combat Evolve Reloaded, or is this the Master Chief Collection going to Switch? So there might be some names that they're purposely holding back for that reason. Like, because if you put up, let's see, Square Enix up there, a lot of ways that can go. Is this the arrival of Final Fantasy on Xbox finally? Or is this Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster 2 over 3 nights happening on Switch 2? So, like, there's a lot of nebulous things there. But if you put Halo Studios up there, or Rocksteady, or Rockstar, and a lot of weight comes with that, and weighted expectations, tend to make for angry people on socials, forgetting all the great stuff they're going to see. Right. Yeah. And so that is something that I'm thoughtful of and processing. Todd Oxtra, it's good to see you, buddy. Yeah, this is one of my Man of Steel Superman S shirts. I'm very excited for Superman. I'm just going to quick derail, Logan. So excited for this Superman movie. I am not of the mind that anyone should be saying, oh, this new Superman versus the old one, that's bad. This good. Shut up. Like, we celebrate our brands. We're excited. I love Superman as a character. I've loved every Superman actor save one. I'm very excited for this one. But yeah, so I think that's what's happening as far as some of these announcements. When you look at some of the people that are coming up on this, like I'm just really excited for it because this is round one. And when you see some of the names in here, it's like, how could we not be excited?
Well, there's interesting stuff. Like, you've got kind of the staples. Like we've got like Capcom, we've got CD Projekt, we've got Annapurna, we've got I just blanked out. PlayStation, Sega, Xbox, Yacht Club Games, MetaQuest, I Am 8-Bit. Like, we see a lot of like the advertisers who are going to be like showcasing trailers throughout the show that they obviously have like stuff that they want to showcase and stuff. But then we have like interesting ones like I would say Focus or Munfish are very interesting picks for partners. Like what is NeoWiz bringing in? What is Embark bringing in? What is Enhance bringing in? I can understand like Epic Games. I can understand 2K, 505 Games. I can understand the big publishers. But then you have like Digital Devolver or Devolver Digital. I don't know why I switched that. And I'm like, oh, do they have some cool stuff that's going to be showcased there?
Well, the thing about like Munfish, they're the makers of Atomic Heart. I just had to look it up, right? Like some of this I had to go Google. So they make Atomic Heart. This could be something as small as Atomic Heart coming to Switch 2. That's the problem with a console launch right here, is that some of these could just be a trailer for Atomic Heart on Switch. Or it could be DLC, expansions, that kind of stuff, because we just got news of Rebellion's Atomfall getting its first DLC expansion.
Yeah.
Right? Like, is Rebellion on this list right now? No, that's odd, right?
Yeah. And Atomic Heart just announced yesterday that they reached 10 million players. So that's maybe they are looking to add an expansion onto that game, since so many people already have jumped into it at some point.
One of the things I think Switch 2 is going to be wonderful for bringing more gamers to certain franchises. And at a console launch, any third-party company that can capitalize on getting in the door with a console launch like Switch 2, they're going to get a lot of eyes on their product, right?
Yeah.
So it's a good bet to be here at Summer Game Fest. And this is very good for the industry to have the Switch 2 launching right here. It's not great for you because like your Switch 2 comes in and you're already on a plane, or you're getting on a plane.
Well, I'm going to the hopefully I'm going to the midnight release at Best Buy.
Okay.
So the night before I fly, I will be at Best Buy picking mine up.
Gotcha.
I don't know what I'm going to put it in because there's barely any display case or any travel cases for it. But
so you are bringing it?
Yes. Why wouldn't I?
I'm just asking. Well, you know, like we're overly. I'm bringing my Steam Deck. I got a power pack suggested to us by one of our community members.
If it's not Anchor, I don't want to know.
It's who makes it. I don't know who makes it. I don't know. It was the highest rated one. It's a power bank. I don't know. That's what it is.
Thanks for that great review coming in from Luke Lohr. Make sure you guys check out that power bank that's made by someone highly recommended on website.
It doesn't say Ant Tank.
Anchor. Is it Anchor? Is it Anker?
Nope.
Then it's not good. It's
terrible. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You should only buy Anchor, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's a shame. But I have I'm just ready because and I'm hoping. Well, let me just say I'm excited. This is the most gamer thing, Logan. I'm ready for that flight because I'm just ready to play games uninterrupted. You know what I mean? Like, I can just play my Steam Deck for a few hours and nobody can bother me. Like, I'm excited for that, right? That's so silly. Let's see. Rust Belt Kid over on your Twitch channel says, you're getting old when you take vacation days next week for a Switch release. Congratulations to you. That's a great thing to do, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's what I did with the first one. I took like an entire week off and sat in front of the TV and played Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
It was fantastic.
Nice.
Also, I love this comment coming from Thor Von Blitz over on Twitch. It says Embark is on there. Arc Raiders going to be released during the show. That would be wild, dude. If Arc Raiders was shadow dropped at SGF, maybe a beta. You think so?
Yeah. There was something I saw at SGF last year. Exoborn, I think it was called. It was awesome. It looked so good, but like it was not hands-on, and you get some worries there and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, keep the list.
You wanted me to? Okay.
Well, in case we need to reference it again. I'm excited. Can you pull it back up for me? Dotemu is there, and that's the new Marvel game that they're working on that they announced I think they announced it at the last year's Game Awards. I think is where it was announced.
Yeah,
I'm stoked to see what they're cooking up with that one. Just because, I love my 16-bit classicness. And of course, Dotemu made the incredible Shredder's Revenge, which that's a Luke Lore game right there, Stoked for them. And IO Interactive is on this list. I think that IO Interactive has a lot of eyes on them because they are making
007.
Yeah. Interested to see kind of what they bring to the show.
It would be cool if they did. Who knows like where that's at the stage of development though at this point though.
If you go to their website, the first thing that pops up is Hitman for Nintendo Switch 2. So just as possible. That's all it is,
Switch 2 is going to be at Summer Games Fest. So maybe they're going to be bringing that, because you think like the Nintendo Switch 2 experience. And I know we're an Xbox show. I get it. I understand.
Xbox now is a game show. It just means games. That's just the reality of it.
The Nintendo Switch 2 experience ends just before Summer Games Fest because that's when the launch of the console is happening. So they still have a whole tour bus of systems that could very easily show up back in LA to use as demo units for a lot of the publishers that are going to be at Summer Games Fest, because that's what's been going. Like they've been doing tours across the US, getting folks like hands-on experiences with Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza and Breath of the Wild and stuff like that. So it could very easily be one of these situations where we see like Hitman 2 or Hitman playing on the Switch 2 at Summer Games Fest, because that's where all those demo units ended up going. So it'd be very, very interesting to kind of see. I also like this too. Mind's Eye. That was when was that shown? It was
it's having a weird PR run right now. That's for sure. It's like Randy Pitchford's in charge of it almost. Because basically Mind's Eye is made up of ex GTA 4 and 5 devs.
Didn't they have some Call of Duty folks in there too?
Perhaps.
Maybe I just hear that Call of Duty devs are going everywhere. Maybe that's what it is. Because there's like, we got Call of Duty devs, so it's gonna have guns. Yeah,
but see, here's the thing: the Mind's Eye dev came out and said that the reason they're getting dunked on in the press or on socials is that people have programmed bots to be against them. So I guess whenever they post, bots are popping up a lot saying this sucks, it's not as good as GTA 6. But you don't say that part. It's kind of like Randy Pitchford.
You don't say the quiet part out loud.
Don't say it out loud. It's just bad PR. It's a nightmare. So like, I want to say, I'm going to link these two topics. Okay. Executives that damn their games and the teams making their games and make PR problems. It's just irresponsible and disrespectful. Pitchford, one of the things he did was come out 2 weeks ago and say, first of all, $80 game, not my call. Great point. That's a great statement. Hey, not my call. There's a lot of people involved. Games are expensive. But then he went on to like lambast other games. This $80 for this. If you're a real fan, you'll buy this. First of all, if you're a real fan, you will find a way to buy the thing that you want. That's what being a fan is when your financial situation allows it. So, Like,
Yeah.
we're guilty of this. We've sold things. You sold things to purchase your Switch 2.
Yep.
I sold plasma to buy my first Xbox. Like, that's a thing that fans do, but you don't mock people that can't do that thing and say they're not real fans because they can't do it at the time. And that sucks because Borderlands 2 looks good. Borderlands 4. I'm sorry. Thank you. Borderlands 4 looks good. And then Mind's Eye has some endearing qualities. There's some Watchdog-esque elements, some GTA elements, but it's all been hands-off stuff. Yeah. Press hasn't gotten to go hands-on that I'm aware of at this moment. And there's a lot working against this game. So why would you basically invite more controversial say for people to dunk on your game? The internet is unkind. It's bad.
Yeah. I think it's one of those situations where this was clearly a statement made out of anecdotal, like, history. Like, he remembers what he felt like, and he's like, you know what? If I could do it, so can anyone else. And it's that entrepreneurial like perspective. Mm-hmm. But if PR had their way before this tweet went out, it probably would have come across as we hope that our game justifies the purchase of a game at $80. That is how most of those PR messages get sent out, because it's trying to be humble about the product that you're trying to sell it at a high cost. Not the right. I remember doing this when I was a kid. If kids want it, they will find a way to get it.
Right.
That's, if they gotta sell, a tablet that their parents got them for birthday for Borderlands 4, they'll figure out how to get it. Like, it's that was the way it should have come across, but a lot of people grabbed it and was like, Randy Pitchford doesn't care if you have to spend three jobs worth of money on this game, because you better do it if you're a fan.
It's so frustrating to me to watch this happen, because, and I think it's Addy Dotun saying, I think he's only human. People haven't played the game. Mm-hmm. I think Randy Pitchford needs to shut up. Like, he has a track record of this. Let the game speak for itself. And it's a shame that people work so hard only to be kicked in the knees by the people that are in charge of it. And this is a lesson that you should only have to learn once. A lesson, like, we'll use Sarah Bond for our Xbox community. Sarah Bond has been, I use this term not disrespectfully, but she was being groomed for the job as head of Xbox, right? They brought her in, they were teaching her things, putting her in the spotlight. Phil was next to her in a lot of those things. She's clearly brilliant, clearly talented, clearly right for the role, but you have to learn the role, right? And there was an event perhaps less than 2 years ago where she went out there right after Xbox had laid off a ton of people. We'd closed Tango Gameworks, and she flubbed a question pretty hard, right?
Yeah.
That's part of learning the job. But you could tell that she came back for the next thing ready to learn, like having practice. PR had put her through the paces, prepped her on these things. You can watch Phil Spencer speak on a topic, be genuine, and he's still PR trained. It doesn't feel to me like some of these higher ups at some of these companies are PR trained. And in not taking the time or investment to have a good team run you through the ringer, you're damaging your product. Any good executive is going to have a PR team that will sit them down and blast them with unfair, difficult questions, so that if they're at an event and someone comes up and says, "Hey, I heard you like award-winning games." Like, yeah, we really love celebrating. Then why'd you lay off the team? They have to have prep for that. Yeah. And if you don't, you're being irresponsible with your company that affects millions, billions, and trillions of dollars. So go ahead.
It's just something to speak to your point too. It's not just giving a good answer. It's giving an answer, period, because you can't be on the floor of a showcase, have someone come to you with a difficult question, be like, I don't have an answer for that. Because then you're going to come across as incompetent. So you have to have a good answer for any really tough question. Right. And that's something that I don't think, like, I just, the Mike Chapman interview that I did for Sea of Thieves for Keelhauled, wrap that up I edited it a bit to cut out some of the personal stuff that we talked about as we were kind of getting into the conversation. And then I sent that off to Rare for approval. I don't anticipate needing to edit anything out because Mike has been doing this for so long. He's been speaking to Rare and Sea of Thieves for so long that anything he says, he is already cognizant of what is going to be allowed or what they want to reveal ahead of time. And he's not going to speak beyond that. And I can tell when he's holding back. So it's one of those things, like, a lot of people at this point are going to get this. And when Randy comes out and says something to the extent of what he says, where he's talking about how people will find a way. I found a way in the 90s. I don't understand why other people, you start to elaborate, you start to read between the lines of what he's saying. You're like, buddy, you're doing a disservice to your team because they want to make an awesome game. They want their game to speak for itself. And you getting ahead of that, trying to say, I don't know what the price is going to be, but whatever it is, I would work a second job for, whatever you want to spin it. That's how the internet is going to take it. And that's going to start putting a stain around the game instead of doing what the game should be doing, which is, this is a fantastic game. We're really excited about it. We can't wait for you to get your hands on it. It's coming out September 19th.
Let us earn your dollar is, I think, a great way to put it. And something at the accidental plug of yesterday's interview, Matt Piscatella discussed with us about how far the dollar travels versus what it is. And we got to thinking, and he's spoken in other interviews as well. Food costs 30% more than it did a few years ago. 30% of people's budget, the food budget, it's 30% more of that money is having to go there. So people are having to make tougher choices about.
Ice cream's expensive.
But people are making more difficult choices about where to put their money because their needs are not being met in the same way that they were. As a result of that, they're investigating free-to-play platforms with more interest than they previously were. So any game that's going to come out with a premium cost or any cost has to vie for your attention. He said something like 50% of players at any given time are playing on a platform are playing free-to-play games.
Yep.
So already, you've got a 34 million console install base on Xbox. Maybe I think it's a 70 on PlayStation. It's high. 50% of them are only interested in the free-to-play market or are going to be spending their time in free-to-play markets. Rivals, Fortnite, Minecraft, Call of Duty, Warzone specifically.
Halo Infinite.
Yeah. Halo Infinite, man. That game really did make a comeback. It was too late. But my point is, you can't nerf your team ahead of it. And so to loop it back to our Summer Game Fest, Gearbox is not on this round one list, but they got something to prove.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got something to prove. I'm interested in a number of these, like Capcom. What are we seeing from Capcom?
Exoprimal 2.
Oh, yeah. Capcom, I'm excited to see. Is
Capcom,
this Resident Evil? One would think.
It has to be, right? It has to be Resident Evil. It's been too long.
It's and the timeline lines up for the next Resident Evil.
Resident Evil 4 remake was the last one we got, right? So we're due for 9 at some point.
So is Resident Evil going to be 5 remake, or is it going to be Resident Evil 9?
It has to be 9, dude. They have to push forward. My only question is are they going to keep Ethan, or are they going to do a whole new thing? And that's why it's taken so long.
It depends.
That's what I'm curious about.
But again, going back to the Piscatella interview, remasters and remakes are surefire bets.
Yeah.
Capcom's firing all cylinders, so I respect it. Whatever they do, I'm excited for it. What about Resident Evil Code Veronica?
Code Veronica. Nobody loves Code Veronica the way PlayStation or the way Dreamcast fans love Code Veronica. As much as I want to say it, the only people really thriving for Code Veronica are the people that bought a Dreamcast.
The disrespect that you just showed.
Can I just say I had a really good joke when we were talking about the increase of food prices and how Game Pass has allowed me to stick with double stuffed Oreos instead of having to go down to single stuffed. And how single stuffed doesn't sound very good when I say it out loud.
You feel like that was worth going back to?
No.
Like, was it?
It's not the spit take I was hoping for, but it's out there now.
That's fair. No, swing and miss, but I respect it. The amount of times my wife and I in the past, like, because we're really trying to work on being better communicators, we've had to go back and be like, okay, don't get stuck on the wording here, but
Yeah. Also, flipping her off while having a conversation is not the appropriate communication tool.
That's my love language.
You say it's your love language, but I think it's the love language that you and Joe have.
That's fair. Joe's come between my marriage several times. So Capcom, we anticipate a Resident Evil of some kind. Do we anticipate updates to Street Fighter? I think you have to, right?
They got to release more skins, but Overwatch 2 is eating the market for skins right now for crossovers.
Overwatch?
Dude, have you been watching Overwatch's like skins?
No, I play the successful version called Marvel Rivals.
It's more successful because it's offering like it's more scantily clad women. But dude, the skin game that Overwatch 2 has been putting out, like it started out pretty calm. Like they brought in like Cowboy Bebop and stuff. Now they're getting into like Gundam. They just released like Street Fighter cosmetics.
Did they really?
Did you not know about the Street Fighter cosmetics for Overwatch 2? It's
not
hilarious, dude.
Bit, no.
Soldier 76 as Guile, Kiriko as Juri. You got Widow as Cammy.
Good for them. They finally woke up and did something smart.
I mean, they've been doing it for a while. Gundam Wing was in there just recently. Dude, they've been doing like
cool. These look cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like, You're talking about skins for Street Fighter 6. I'm like, dude, have you been paying attention to Overwatch 2? Because, dude, they got like a whole thing going on with Capcom right now. It's wild.
Okay, respect the game. I am here for that. Okay,
but nobody's talking about it. And I know you always really appreciate like when they do crossovers and stuff like that. Overwatch 2 has been killing it in that. And the skins look good too. The skins aren't just, they still like kind of pull in like what the core of the character is for like silhouette reasons. When playing games, and this is like a whole thing that you got to keep silhouettes very defined when it comes to shooters, because you have to be able to recognize what a character is when you see it just by the silhouette is a very important thing, both in animation and in video game design when you're doing competitive shooters like that. But this is one of those things where it's like they still have the core character there, but the skin fills the fantasy of what the crossover is about, that they do a really, really good job of. And shout out to my buddy over there that works on some of the stuff. The skins just look really good. But I mean, Street Fighter could still have some life in it. I don't know. Maybe now's when they show off like they're going to be doing a Street Fighter 7.
So I don't think we are, but it's interesting because WB just shut down Mortal Kombat 1. Not shut down. Let me back that up. Stopped new content. I apologize. Stopped new content for it. But meanwhile, Tekken and Street Fighter are still producing stuff. So you have to think WB, who's in financial trouble, is like, yo, Injustice.
I hate those execs. God damn it.
I'm okay with Injustice. Yeah, well, I think they're like, yo, we got to do this. And what better time, truly, the next season of Fortnite's likely going to have superheroes and DC stuff, Superman featured, James Gunn's they're trying to start a new universe at the box office, because technically Peacemaker's in that world.
Well, first off, fire all the people that are associated with the Flash movie and get new people in to do the cinematics and the editing and stuff like that.
Man, that movie. That was such a bad.
Sorry. Distracted you. I got Luke triggered on Marvel. DC.
Okay. All right. I'm back on here. CDPR is going to be there. So you have to know that that's Cyberpunk on Switch too. But do you see a Witcher 3? Witcher 4? Witcher 4 tease?
I would love a Witcher 4. I think they might even come out with like a teaser for Cyberpunk 2, because they've been working on Project Orion? Oh, I can't remember the name of the project, but they just confirmed, or they may not have confirmed, but confirmations have come out that the project that they've been working on is in fact Cyberpunk 2, which is going to be on Unreal Engine 5. And I can't wait for that personally. I think that's going to be amazing, because Cyberpunk, the world of Night City is absolutely amazing. So them doing Cyberpunk 2 would be fantastic. I would love to know which of the endings they consider canonical, and if my save will carry over because I have a couple of them. But yeah, I anticipate that the Cyberpunk thing, honestly, I feel like Witcher 4 would be more suited for like an Xbox showcase thing than compared to Summer Games Fest. I kind of think that they're going to be showcasing Cyberpunk on the Switch too, as just kind of like a this is, hey, we're doing this.
I think that's what it is, and that's a technical feat in and of itself. Yeah, because Cyberpunk couldn't run on an Xbox One or PlayStation.
PS4 was like having a hard time. They're like, no, just cut it, just take it off the store. We can't afford this.
Yep. But what I think you're likely to see as far as Cyberpunk 2 is not Cyberpunk 2, but like a wake up samurai in development now.
I'm good with that too, though.
Like, and I would not put that at an Xbox showcase. Don't do that there.
Not for there. Yeah. Witcher 4, I would say Xbox, but for Cyberpunk, like make that like for everyone kind of thing. Like I'm fine with that.
So we're just kind of bouncing around, which I'm fine with. And people drop your predictions and thoughts into the chat, questions for us also. But I think the Xbox showcase is where you get dates, times. Like they're not going to say like they did a few years ago, all of this in the next 18 months,
12 months, and you'll have all these games. Really?
Yeah. Don't do that. Which they've learned that lesson. But I do think the Xbox showcase is for games that have a finish line in sight, right? So you don't put Cyberpunk 2 there. You put something where the end is in sight, where you've got an idea of a release window-esque type thing. I question for Xbox the ability of the Outer Worlds 2 to be its big finale deep dive. I do. Not because I have any ill will towards it, but because last year they had Call of Duty. If you had Halo or Gear, I get it. But this is Obsidian's small project number 2. Like Obsidian makes Avowed and Outer Worlds, which are all great.
Or triggering me.
It's not a diss, but it's not Call of Duty. It's not Halo. It's not Gears.
Yeah, but this is one of the most successful studios that Xbox has right now. Like Obsidian is one of the most successful studios that Xbox has in their pocket. And coming off of Outer Worlds, which in my opinion, much more compelling than Starfield was.
Agree. Not having played it, agree still.
I think that the Outer Worlds 2, knowing what they're doing, I'm hoping that the fast turnaround time that they've had based off of like the DLCs that they did, that this will have some meat and potatoes. I know they've been working on it for a hot minute now, but it's Obsidian, dude. Like Obsidian makes fun games. They may not be the greatest games ever, but the games that they make are still fun. I still really loved my time with Avowed this year. I think Avowed is fantastic. This is their B team, but B team being still on par with their A team. It just happens to be the second team, and the second team is working on that Outer Worlds IP. Whereas like you've got 2 other teams there that are probably playing around with other little smaller projects. Whereas Avowed is working on like content for the rest of the year for Avowed. But to have...
Did you mean that Avowed was the A team or Outer Worlds was the A team?
That Avowed is the A team.
Really? I didn't think that. I thought it was the other way.
No, Avowed has like the founders of Obsidian like tied to it. Like the guys that made Avowed or that made Obsidian are the ones that have been working on their version of the Elder Scrolls. The other folks have been working on Outer Worlds because they wanted to make a a space game. So if you were to look at Outer Worlds, you would see a lot more leniency with kind of that standard North American RPG than compared to Avowed. And Avowed is still pretty light when it comes to the RPG elements, but they are still intrinsically there from like an Elder Scrolls perspective. And that's because the guys that left were working on Avowed with them. Like their input was more highly regarded on that product than the Outer Worlds product.
Eddie Dotun is disagreeing with you.
I mean, that's fair. I'm speaking from what I was told by one of the people working on Outer Worlds.
Gotcha. So you're speaking from like
one of my friends that works there.
Sources say,
yeah,
Captain Logun. Sources say,
like Outer Worlds was the first one that came out because Avowed had shifts in product and creation. Like they've been working on that for a long time. Gotcha. But as far as I know, the guys that made the Outer Worlds are the ones that were making that project because they wanted to test out what they could do, knowing that they would be taking the best people and pushing them onto the Avowed team.
Gotcha. Okay. So let's talk about what we expect fully to see. Mm-hmm. I expect Gears of War E-Day to be seen. I expect Clockwork Revolution. I think we see Call of Duty, but I feel like that's a given. But I don't think it's spotlighted the same way. It's not like Black Ops 6. You know what I mean? In fact, I could see a world where they don't even do Call of Duty this year. I see them doing like Black Ops 6 Part 2 or something like that. You know what I mean? Kind of the way Modern Warfare 3 was Modern Warfare 2, but like they split it. I wonder if they just bank on Black Ops 6 being there again and holding strong. I wonder. I don't know that. But State of Decay 3 also I want to put into the mix.
Yeah. I feel like we're probably going to have Fable. I think Fable's going to be one of those things. Oh, Ninja Gaiden 4. I forgot about that. Yeah. Too. Abdel coming out with, is Diablo 4 dead? No, Diablo 4 is just having a bad season. Last season was a lot more compelling than the Bale content that they put out this year. But I would anticipate seeing them maybe have something talking about the upcoming expansion for 2026. So Fable, Clockwork Revolution, still need Gears of War E-Day. I think we're probably going to see an update on Perfect Dark, State of Decay 3, and then Outer Worlds 2 is the closer there. The smaller stuff like the sizzle reel that they typically do, I'm expecting the next expansion for World of Warcraft, including player housing, Sea of Thieves Fest Season 17, or maybe them just kind of showcasing like the recent stuff with Season 16. The Elder Scrolls, the Golden Path, I think is what it was called. Golden Road. It's either Road or Path, one of those ones. But Elder Scrolls update, I'm not quite sure where they're at. I know Contraband and Everwild are still kind of like MIA. Those are like the two that we know of that we have not had updates on. So it'll be very interesting to kind of see like where things are going with those two teams.
Do you anticipate seeing Everwild?
Mm-mm.
You don't. And mind you, everybody, he has inside sources at Rare. He just interviewed Mike Chapman. He's best friends with Joe Neate. He knows them all. I'm just kidding. Imagine. So you don't think Everwild's there?
I mean, it's been so long that I feel like they need to do something. But it's been silent, dude. It's been so quiet for Everwild. Like it's one of those things where even like the team themselves, like I haven't talked or heard about. Everything has been nothing but Sea of Thieves right now. Everything. And they've got a lot planned, and they're looking to push out a lot in the next year for their seasons. And just like there's no lulls in the Sea of Thieves content. So Everwild, I genuinely like would be curious to find out if and when they're actually going to say something about that. Thor von Blitz would actually be a good person to kind of see, because he's also a lot of friends with a lot of folks over at Rare as well too.
Well, he dropped a comment over on your Twitch saying it's reverse psychology. We're starting to not expect it, so they can pull a surprise on us.
That may be it too.
I don't credit them with that level of prep.
I'm pretty thick in the weeds at this point, so it's hard for me to see the forest through the trees.
Yeah. Addy Dotun saying, I lost it. He didn't think something was real. Oh, that was Anubis. I'm sorry. Anubis saying, I don't believe Contraband is real. Why would it be? It's kind of like Kojima's game. It's like, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It's there so people can
There's
say
contracts, preliminary plans.
Yeah. Now, interesting. Abdel dropped in Psychonauts 3. Double Fine has been cooking. That I know for a fact. They even in their Discord recently. Double Fine has been cooking. They have a project they're ready to show soon. So I think you do see something from Double Fine. What it is, I don't know. I have no knowledge of what it is.
So the guy that does Raz's voice, shout out to Horwitz, I think is his last name. He has been doing a lot of cons lately. And he's been doing a lot of promotion for the Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss. So doesn't matter. Work that he's doing outside of Raz. Okay. So I have not seen an absence from him that could suggest that he's working with Double Fine in a way that would suggest that he's reprising his role as Raz. So if they are doing something, then they're doing a lot of that work remote, or he's been sneaking off and somehow managing to get to a studio to be able to do recording voice lines for that. Or they may just not be at that stage. But it's very much one of those cases. Like, I have been seeing him a lot on social media doing the con route or con loop for other products or for other IP. So I would be surprised if Double Fine is working on Psychonauts 3 at this point. I think it's a new project.
You think it's a new IP? I mean, yeah. I know for a fact there's something. I don't know what it is. Whether or not we see it, I mean, if it gets pulled last minute out, but like right now, I know there's something. Yeah. So expect Double Fine there on some level. Don't know what that means. Somebody dropping in. Oh, Addy dropping in Project Mara. I don't even know what that is.
I can't even remember what Project Mara is. What was Project Mara?
It's Ninja Theory's thing. You saw the face and the stairs. It was their technology.
Oh, yeah.
So Ninja Theory does a lot of tech stuff that makes them money, and that's why they're able to make these small projects, because they continue to bring money in from other things. I don't even know that Project Mara is a game. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying I don't have any insight out. I don't even know what Project Mara is. So, like, do we see their horror project? Do we not? One could. I don't know. But I will tell you this. Ninja Theory, for it to realize the vision I think a lot of gamers want from it, they need bigger projects, not smaller. Hellblade 2 would have been, I think, well served to have been bigger in scope. I love that game. But I mean, I do want Cinema of War. I do want that. I that's what I want it to be. And whether it is or not, that's fine. But that tech, that world is ripe for it. So
do we finally see Final Fantasy being ported over to the Xbox? Do we finally see 7 Remake coming to Xbox?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
I think it's time. I think with Square Enix's propensity and clear indications that they are done doing exclusivity deals. Heck, we're seeing people that have done exclusivity deals with PlayStation and been successful. Think about Helldivers. Yeah. They're now jumping ship from that. Anyone that was doing exclusive stuff yes, they said that in future projects they will not be doing
okay,
exclusivity deals or whatnot. And mind you, Helldivers 1 and 2 were PlayStation. All the problems that came from Helldivers 2 being exclusive to PlayStation, the account names, the live service elements, but you had to limit, and in certain countries not. For all the goodness that PlayStation did for that dev, there are people jumping ship from PlayStation's live service world and that exclusivity world because it's just not the way of the future, it seems. And so for somebody as successful as the Helldiver devs, who's for the name is just escaping me in this moment, so I'm sorry, chat, you can correct me. They're leaving that. Square Enix to be handshaking Phil Spencer 2 years ago, being like, yeah, we're kind of done. We want a new partnership. We want to build roads, kind of rebuild. And then you have projects like with Kojima, Arrowhead. Thank you, Thor Von Blitz. Kojima even being like, yep, let's work with Xbox. Like, there is a clear push to no longer be third-party exclusive. Nice. Nice. And so I do think Square Enix is as soon as they can. My understanding is the deal has expired for the first game, but they're probably prepping, optimizing, and putting things together because they have a third game for Final Fantasy VII, right?
Planned, yes. When that comes out, who knows?
Right. But my point is, I think they want to get into as many places as possible, considering that Xbox is working so hard to get their storefronts universally available.
Yeah. Speaking of storefronts, I'm gonna take this moment to segue, dude. We haven't talked about the handheld being delayed.
You're right, we haven't.
To focus on the experience. Jess Gordon coming out here last week. Didn't mention a mum of it, probably because he was confirming sources and stuff.
Yeah,
but
that's probably what happened live on air. Do you remember him like getting distracted? And he was like, ooh.
Nah, I feel like that was legit like stuff coming because he talked a little bit about what was going on there that we talked about afterwards, after the show. But yeah, very interesting to hear that Xbox is apparently their handheld. Their own handheld, not the one that they're like, having third-party contracts with. Yeah, Project Kennen has been sidelined and is on hold for the time being. Kind of interesting, given like the push that I think everyone's had, where they're like, just come out with your own handheld at this point. Kind of makes me wonder if cost is becoming an issue. Maybe they saw the reception to what people were saying about the FTC leaks for their handheld with was it the ROG Ally? Was it the ROG?
I don't know what you're asking me. Are you talking about like the Project Kennen, like the Xbox variant of the new ROG?
The reception to that and how Xbox is potentially sidelining their own handheld as a result of that, because they want to maybe talk about the form factor or something like that.
So I think the form factor thing, that was an unreleased thing that wasn't meant to be shown. And if you look at a PlayStation Portal while it's in development, it's going to look very similar, right?
It still looks stupid though, even at final launch.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Portal is a dumb looking device.
Yeah.
The Steam Deck, which is my favorite, that's like a blown up Nomad from back in the day. Like they're not going to look perfect. I don't think it's reception to the optics. Right.
Which 2 looks good though.
Yeah, it does. I think the mouse thing looks dumb, but cool there. Man, Joe can't spell. But so you look at the way that the form factor is less the issue, comfort is the concern.
Yeah.
But I think what you're actually looking at is a combination of several factors. First and foremost, comes down to Steam OS just outpacing Windows 11 in gaming in every single way, shape, and form.
Yep.
For that to matter, for that to be overlooked is a bad thing, because simply put, when you're dealing with a mobile device, battery life is a factor. And if your OS, your operating system, is pushing the battery too hard, you're burning out battery faster, you got an issue. They're also trying to get Xbox games to be properly run without killing it, while also building for their future products, which are going to be PC based on there. And I'm talking from an armchair. I'm not talking about the Series 2X5 chipset. Not that. I'm talking very simple stuff.
You got scared with us talking about graphics cards once.
Yeah, not fair. Knock it off. Nerds, go do an Excel sheet. But what I'm saying is, if the games are burning the battery faster, if they're not running as well to something that's already on the market with a comfortable install base and a usable, enjoyable storefront, Steam storefront is the best of any. Bar none. Bar none. You turn on your Steam Deck, the games are right there. Play. You want the store right there. Do it quick, fast. Downloads are lightning quick. Steam Deck is better. Steam Deck is better in every way. Honestly, like it's making me wish there was a Steam console, right? push forward, look ahead, Xbox is doing just that. So I think the reason that this stuff is on hold is a combination of factors coming down to OS, Windows 11, tariffs, building this device, launching this device simultaneously within a year, 2 years of your actual next hardware. All of these things are expensive endeavors, and you're making more money as a publisher in other places. So I think they're just evaluating their portfolio, their software, their hardware, their publishing deals, their live service deals. Can you sell Call of Duty on a portable, Logan? No, it doesn't work.
You have to because you agreed to do it legally with the Switch.
No, okay, we're talking about two different things. On a Steam Deck is a different version of the game versus a Switch 2.
Yeah.
And like with respect to this Switch 2 that's coming out, hope it goes well. Jealous of those that get to play the new shiny, but not jealous because it's a Switch 2 and I wouldn't play it for very long unless it's Metroid. Like the reality is that thing's a PS4, Xbox One, Series S in between something, right? You're not getting the PC version of any game on that.
Fair.
So what kind of version are you getting if you get Call of Duty on your ROG Ally 2 or your Project Cannon or whatnot? Are you getting a Series S version or just below it? And that's where you get into the weeds. That's what I'm getting at. So I think this was canceled, put on hold, paused, whatever it is, for a number of things, not the least of which is parts and products are more expensive than ever. Dollars are traveling less and less space. So the cost of getting your storefront in front of people is reduced. Let's not forget the FTC thing was dropped, but then you also have the epic win over Apple, meaning that storefronts can go onto these devices again. Well, that changes how the Xbox app itself works on your mobile device. So there's a lot of factors that are tying into this, and it might have just been, hey, we don't have the bandwidth, the logistics to realize that we could definitively make money right now.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from. I think it's interesting that they are holding off on this because at this point, if you look at what they're doing what Microsoft is good at, which is getting their products everywhere and focusing less on hardware. Whereas I think as an Xbox fan, I care more about the hardware because those are the ecosystems where I enjoy the content the most. And with, rumblings about the Xbox Elite Series 3 being leaps and bounds above the Series 2, I am genuinely interested in seeing like what they can do. How does it compare to some of the other handheld or some of the other console or controllers on the market? Scuff is out there. We've also got Turtle Beach making incredible controllers for multiple systems at this point. With them delaying or sidelining the handheld, it doesn't show confidence in what they had. It shows the flexibility to evolve what's going to be wanted in the future based on where the market is right now. But with the iteration that you have with these kind of things, like we already know, like the next, the reports from Windows Central came out, said that the next home console is still like fine. It's still doing what it's going to do. It's still going to come out in like 27 or 28. And that's not going to be in question. But if they are still trying to figure out like what's going on with the handheld for whatever reason, or maybe they just aren't getting the funding for it. And that's even more concerning because then it's like, okay, well then are you just going to focus on one SKU, one home console? Are you not going to do the handheld stuff? Because I think for a lot of us, it comes down to, we want to play the games that we've purchased through Xbox on a handheld natively without having to do Project X Cloud or NVIDIA GeForce Now or some sort of weird streaming thing. Like we just want access to the games that we bought natively on a handheld. Right. And if that happens through a third party, then, that's a small win for Xbox fans, but it's not going to be what I think a lot of us want, which is effectively like an Xbox controller wrapped around a good screen with a
which
good
is something
battery.
we've had so much.
Yeah.
So much of that. Logan, let's put a pause briefly. I want to give a shout out and thanks to our patrons that have been supporting the channel tremendously, because
yeah,
LA is going to be expensive. Rides are going to be expensive. Food's going to be expensive. Getting to and from all of that. And they have, these people have been so generous with their time and money just supporting us. So is it your week to read or mine? I cannot remember.
That is a really good question. I actually don't remember who did the last one, but I can do it.
All right. Take it away, good sir.
So thank you again. Everyone that's headed over to patreon.com/Xbox expansion pass to support this content and to help ensure that we are not only just paying for the bills when it comes to a podcast, but also the fundraising that you've helped us out with for SGF. We look to return that in favor with content as much as we can during that time. As such, we always like to call out the tier 2 and tier 3 patrons over on patreon.com. So that way they know that we appreciate them by name. So thank you to Clutch Quando, Omen, Jesse Press, Fado, Aaron G, Nick Bentley, The Scarecrow, Ken Rosling, Fabian Winkler, Regis Stella, the Brody Pirate, Rob Frawley II, Tao Zochi, Nicholas Johnson, Randall Thor 19, African, Game Positive, Jampack Sam, Rick Davis, Matt Valdez, Red Beast, Dano 12, DJ Hero, Brendan Myers, aka The Winter Gamer, Lord Sir Master James Suddy, Sony's VP of Marketing Kevin Butler, and everyone else that's been subscribed to the actual YouTube and stuff.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Very much appreciated.
Yeah. Couple of comments that came in. Frank Conductor saying Steam Deck no as far as Call of Duty because it's Linux and anti-cheat doesn't like that. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you're not getting the real version there.
We're getting a version of it. It's just not the version that like we're playing on X platform.
That's what that's what I'm saying. Like, on the Wii, you got Call of Duty, but did you get Call of Duty?
I mean, I feel like we're splitting hairs on this because like CD Projekt is doing Cyberpunk 2077. Like, that version of the game isn't going to be as good as like the Xbox Series X or the PS5 Pro edition, but it is still going to be Cyberpunk. So can we really expect that the Switch 2 version of Call of Duty is going to be vastly different compared to the Series S version?
That's kind of the question that I'm raising. Are you getting the Wii version of something, or are you getting the scaled down Series S versus X style version? If it's the Series S versus X, I'm okay with it. But if we're pretending that it's going to be the same and it's actually like a Wii style version, then that's a little different.
I think the code base is going to be slightly different, but I think the overall experience will be the same. Okay. It just may not look as polished or run as smoothly.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Let's see here. What did
speaking of Call of Duty,
please?
I got some contacts for the first time in like 20 years. Got my Call of Duty gunners now. I can wear.
You actually they do look good. The problem with the blue light glasses is the orange, but it does look good on you.
Yeah.
And I love those gunner glasses. Truly. They're really good. Do. I look like Jeffrey Dahmer when I wear them.
Yes.
I don't wear them on camera.
Also helps that you idolize him a lot too, that makes a big difference in how you come across. Which, speaking of, did you take down the shrine, or is the shrine still up? Did you swap?
Why are you the way that you are?
I don't know. Handsome, brilliant, philanthropist, billionaire, playboy,
genius, billionaire, playboy. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. Questions, please. Anybody drop questions in. I will tell you one thing. I want to see State of Decay 3. I'm ready for that.
Me too. I like that it feels like it's going to be State of Decay 2, but I hope that they take a lot of the lessons that they learned from the Juggernaut edition and apply that to State of Decay 3. So very much looking forward to like what's gonna happen with State of Decay 3. I just, the teaser that they put out, the initial like cinematic was beautiful. The gameplay that they showed like what was it, last year, I think, or was it the year before? I think it was the year before.
Yeah, a bit.
2 years ago.
It was a while ago now.
I think it's going to be great. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for State of Decay to have some relevance because I mean we're not getting like a Sea of Thieves 2 anytime soon. So
Yeah.
and those
I don't want Fortnite to. Like,
well, Fortnite evolves in way different ways. I think I think Sea of Thieves 2 hits performance issues with their game that aren't they're not like engine limitations, but I always do wonder, like, would the next Unreal Engine serve in the same way that like Halo 1 Combat Evolved remake could potentially be with Halo Studios moving over to Unreal.
Gotcha.
Right. Are we going to see that at Xbox Showcase? Are we going to see Halo remake?
No, I don't think you see Halo for a good bit, with the exception of Switch 2 stuff. So I think Halo's not on hiatus per se, but they're in a brand so they're trying to fix that
reimagining
something. Yeah, I don't know what the word is for this one, but I think Halo has been done irreparable damage by the show and the launch of Infinite. Even though Infinite now is in a great state, you can't get people to go back right now, and the lack of DLC to the campaign DLC to that game.
Well, yeah, I think that's the issue. There's no story to care about right now. So all you're doing is serving the people that like the gameplay.
Right. You're not expanding unless you go to a new platform. So I think you would get Switch 2 Halo.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But I don't think you're seeing Halo Combat Evolved remake or anything like that. I think the focus, rightfully, should be on Gears right now. Allow Gears Reloaded and Gears E-Day to have their time.
Yeah.
Get to multiple platforms, be celebrated, and then you can have Halo. And the rotation of Gears and Halo can begin once again. Because it needed it you can't do them simultaneously without nerfing their impact.
Neither shall the two meet, but they will always be known.
There's no logic in it because you've got Doom, Call of Duty, Gears of War, Halo, all in your shoot and blow stuff up. No, in your shoot and blow stuff up portfolio if you're Xbox, and you want a cadence. Xbox needs a big draw to Game Pass every 3 months because that's what those 3-month Game Pass cards are sold in. So you bring them in at Call of Duty 3 months, and then you dip, and then Oblivion, and then you dip, and then the next thing. Like, you need like those big pillars, and you can't put all your pillars together. I genuinely think it was a mistake to do Oblivion, Doom, and Expedition 33 so close to one another.
I don't know that Xbox anticipated Expedition 33 being as popular as it is, but they should have, having played the game.
I also look at, and I'm thinking about Doom. Obviously, I have bias because I love Doom, but Doom's fantastic. It's a great video game. Scored well. People seem to love it. It's multi-platform. Why was there not crossover marketing with that in other places? Like, strange oddity to me. Why is the Oblivion guy not in Fortnite? Like, why is there not an Oblivion armor set is my point. That's what I'm saying. You've got Diablo. Why is he not in there? You've got Call of Duty. If you don't want to put in Fortnite, why not Call of Duty? If you could put the Ninja freaking Turtles and Seth Rogen hanging out on an island where they shoot things, and Lilith can be in Modern Warfare. Yeah. Why? So that's the, don't overlap your own properties is my point. All right.
That's fair.
State of Decay, I think we're going to see a lot of stuff. Do we think we'll be surprised by any new IP?
I'm hoping so, dude. I actually, anyone that's been watching the show for a long time knows I preach about IP, new IP being important to the industry. A lot of that space is sucked up by indies. Every once in a while we get like a triple B or like a double A game that comes out that's a new IP that I absolutely end up loving, and then nobody talks about. And then like 3 years down the line, they're like, guys, did you know about Banishers? This is a really, and I'm like, hi, yeah, I was talking about that for a long time. Please go play Banishers if you guys get a chance. Stuff like that, I'm hoping that we get something like that. I don't know what studio we would, but there's still a lot of irons in the fire for Xbox that need answers. We need to get better like release dates for some of the stuff that they've already talked about. So I would rather they kind of shore up the release cycle for stuff that they've been talking about since like 2020,
right?
Instead of us getting new stuff, unless they're like, you know, like Hi-Fi Rush, where it's a smaller project, something that they can toss out there and say like, hey, this is one of our smaller teams made a fantastic game. We're going to toss it up on Game Pass, something like that. Fantastic.
Poor Nissa in Winterboro. I hope it happens. It's soon, right? Like, is it soon for her?
It got delayed.
No.
I mean, that's old news.
She's been waiting for that. Oh, okay. But still, she's been wanting that for a while.
Yeah.
So Everwild, Clockwork Revolution are your Avowed level size games, right? Yep. Outer Worlds is this weird nebulous in between. Not sure where that's going to rank in the pantheon of Oblivion and Oblivion and Doom and Call of Duty and Gears. I don't know where that is in there. But then, yeah, I want finite release dates. State of Decay 3. Are you a AAA game or are you a really good AA? Just tell me. I don't mind either one.
I would hope that it would be a AAA, but I feel like it's going to be like a AA.
But I love State of Decay 1 and 2, so I'm okay as long as it's well treated.
Yeah,
right? Avowed is a AA game that hits like a AAA.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's like I'm okay with whatever they decide to do with it, as long as as long as they've learned from the first two and bring that forward to the third, and that the third carries on like some new like they brought something fresh to it. Because if it's just State of Decay 2, but new new places, new characters, stuff like that, it's going to be okay, but it's not going to feel like as cool as if it was like a true like evolution of the series.
You better be able to find the Doom Marine armor, Crackdown 3's armor. That's what I want, dude. You know, all right. Dream announcement. Announcement.
I knew it as soon as you said Crackdown. As you said Crackdown, I was like, God, he's going to go into it.
Bring it back. Bring it back. You're telling me like, and you do it right, Ryan. I don't mean like Crackdown 3 was fun, but it was a 360 game. Like, you'd have to make this modern, but like the Borderlands 4 art style is beautiful. It's just enough cell shaded, but not realistic. Like that style, you're leaping around the city, you're catching your orbs. All of the cars can be gotten and thrown, modified. Like, what a great sandbox. Yes, do Crackdown 4. Do it right? Do it right, but yeah, please. That game series is so good, and it got such a bad rep because of what happened. But all 3 Crackdown games were made by different people. Like, all 3. I would love to see Crackdown make a comeback. That is absolutely, and you put that bad boy multi-platform. We're desperate for that stupid style of game. Because what was the other one? Prototype. People want that. Hulk Ultimate Destruction from back in the day. People want that. Like, yeah.
It's that PS2 game.
Yes, but people still talk about it, is my point. That open world, just go around, cause havoc, but not Grand Theft Auto style, not realistic, just crazy over the top. Pick up a car, throw it over a building. Yeah, that'd be such a good time. And that is a Game Pass game, my friend. You sell that bad boy on PlayStation, put it on Game Pass here. Oh my gosh. If I'm collecting orbs on my Steam Deck, let's go.
You slap that main character in a blue and red suit with a red cape and have him throw stuff around. It's good. It's better than
disrespectful what you just did.
Better.
That was disrespectful. You know darn well WB won't acknowledge my dreams. But no, I would love Crackdown.
They were fully realized back on the 64. So what are you worried about? Just go back to the 64, play the appropriate version.
By the way, I was just going through our XEP pins. I forgot that Anubis made you a little thing here. I'm not going to flip it around, but it is a charm for your Crocs. I won't show it to you yet, but don't let me forget to give it to you is really what I'm getting at, because it's like nestled in here. He's also got one for King David, who I know doesn't watch. It's a glizzy.
That's funny.
Shout out to Iron Man. I love you guys. Yeah, bring Crackdown back, dude. I will stand up and run around in the fan fest if Crackdown 4 is a thing. Let's see here. Black Panther was canceled.
Yeah.
By EA. That's just rude and cruel. Let's see.
Not the Captain America Black Panther game, but the standalone Black Panther game, which again now in line with Wonder Woman being canceled. No one wants to make a superhero game. It feels like at this point, like it's either going to be Naughty Dog or nothing at this point, because we have not seen any superhero games do well outside of Naughty Dog.
Rocksteady's doing something. I will tell you that they're doing something, but it's like it's a remake, man. Like they're remastering. Like they're not ready for the new stuff. But WB is banking on only their heavy hitters right now. They are banking heavily on Superman's box office success to reignite the brand. They're banking heavily on toy sales to get it excited for kids. I don't know if you've seen the toys commercials they're doing for that. And as a result, their superheroes in trouble. But Marvel's in the same boat. Marvel Phase 5 was so bad for the brand that they had to bring back all these old roles, all these old people to hit the nostalgia button so they can reset essentially, which is fine. I'm not against that. I'm not dunking on anybody for that. But they're doing
well with Harrison Ford being the Red Hulk.
Oh, that movie was hobbled together, and I enjoed it still. I liked it.
I still enjoyed it, yeah.
But it was definitely cut together. Like you could tell. It was like, wait, you weren't always the bad guy. But yeah, back to EA. Canceling the Black Panther game, just another round of layoffs. This is going to be 300 people. It's a big deal. This is Cliffhanger Games. It's their project's being shut down. EA already shut down 700 people from Motive. I'm sorry, not from Motive. That's the only one surviving. From a different studio. There's just so much happening that is a result of the industry expansion and now contraction. That market that Matt Piscatella talked about, with it being a mature market now. And it's not a surefire thing to have your superhero games. You can look at Marvel's Avengers. You can look at Suicide Squad. You can even look at the success of Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a very good game and didn't sell well. So superhero games are not surefire bets the way they might have been in the mid 2010s, right?
Yeah.
And that is just
kind of a shame.
I think also the expectations are higher. Again, Guardians of the Galaxy, great game, but people wanted something more from it. They didn't want that linear experience. Avengers tried to do something it shouldn't have done in having a narrative and live service element. You should have done one or the other, because the narrative wasn't bad. The live service
that game loop
was not bad, but it did not have content. You did not have content arriving.
So then what about Marvel Midnight Sun and Marvel Rivals doing well? Like, so
Midnight Suns did not too well. Midnight Suns was bloated and had too much dialogue for the gameplay loop that people enjoyed. And it did not sell the way they wanted it to.
Interesting. Okay. For some reason in my mind, there's a reverence to that game that is, it goes above like what the general consensus was in that case.
That's not to say it was bad, but I'm saying like all the Persona style dialogue people did not enjoy. And then you have Marvel,
a different type of game though.
Now, to address your Marvel Rivals thought about superhero stuff, they launched free to play, and they had MCU crossover stuff immediately, right at launch, which is exactly what you need to do. Like, with respect to all the cool comic history stuff, people know Marvel because of the MCU. Now, I don't mean the old hats, the gray beards, Todd. I'm thinking about you, my friend. You know I know superheroes. What I'm saying is kids know Tony Stark as the face of Marvel. They know Tom Holland's suit. They know different things than we do. And so that was part of the benefit. Plus, Marvel Rivals had a good economy early on, and it was very playable. Get a quick match right away. There's some issues now, and they're a little heavy-handed on some of their cosmetics, but
yeah. Also, nobody likes Ultron, so why even put Ultron in there? It's dumb. Just bring out someone else cool, like Ghost Rider or something.
Okay.
He's just not even gonna. You all right?
You're talking about nobody likes Ultron? Sorry, I had to read a text, and that was the worst. Hold the Jess.
Oh, all right, Jess.
Say it again.
I was saying nobody likes Ultron, for Marvel Rivals, they should have come out with a good character like Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider's a stupid character. You should feel bad.
That is the worst thing as someone with Ghost in their handle to even contemplate saying.
I never understood why Ghost Rider made sense, because like, why would he inhabit a horse or a motorcycle? I never got it. I was always like, that's strange. I'm not. I don't
know what you're even saying right now. All right,
let's get back on track here.
Yeah,
Black Panther being canceled.
Embarrass yourself.
It's a shame. Not a lot of superhero games in production. I can talk about. I mean, I know there's a remaster remake happening with Rocksteady. I don't think that's public, but there you are. The Motive Studios is doing the Iron Man game, and I think that's
we got the Captain America. We got the Captain America Black Panther 1943 movie game.
Hey, if I sound like a fool in a week, I'll be happy. But I don't have any confidence in an Amy Hennig project, particularly in the wake of Jade Raymond's exit, because a lot of these names that we bank on, Corey Hudson, Jade Raymond, Amy Hennig, dead project. And
Fair Games is still coming out. No one's canceled it.
How can it be successful without the number?
Amy Hennig leaving could actually be a boon to it, because then it might actually get released as opposed to all of our other projects.
I don't know, but I'm not rooting against it, because I love my superhero stuff. But yeah, I hope in a week I sound like a fool.
Yeah,
And
Todd, you were 100% right. I genuinely don't know what the heck Luke is talking about. He does not. I mean, I do not know what he's talking about with Ghost Rider inhabiting a motorcycle. What?
None of you can tell me that Ghost Rider is a popular character next to any top 15 Marvel heroes.
15 out of like the hundreds of Marvel heroes that are in existence.
Top 20.
He hasn't had a good movie because they keep hiring some idiot to come play him. They need like an actual actor.
He had a good run in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was cool.
Oh yeah. Well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. nobody watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's the problem. They watched the first season, and then when they realized what they did with Coulson, everyone was like, no, this is dumb. And they rejected it. Anyway, we're not talking about video games, Luke. We should be talking about video games.
I think we're ready to wrap soon anyway.
Okay. That's fair.
What's the one thing you want to see from your showcases?
Oh, the one thing I want to see, I want to get my hands on E-Day so bad. I really want to play E-Day. I don't know if I'll get to. I don't know if that's a thing that I want, but I want more. I want like a solid date for E-Day at this point. Like, I'm good with everything else that we've seen. The only thing they could top it other than E-Day would be Redfall 2. Bite Back. And that's what they should call it. And you get to play as the vampire going after the characters.
I don't think you're seeing Blade. I don't, because wasn't it Arcane?
Oh yeah, that's right, Blade. Yeah,
I don't think you'll see Blade. I think
Blade.
Yeah, I don't think that's coming. I don't think now that it's not coming out. I don't think there's a rush to show anything there, because with its MCU movie kind of dead at the moment, they're just why wait on the character? Like, why push the character before it's ready?
Who cares what Marvel's doing with the movie? There was only one Blade. There will only ever be one Blade. Make a video game in and of itself, and stop worrying about like how the marketing plays out for that. That's Fortnite's job. All right. But yeah, the Blade game would actually be really cool. I would love to see an update from that actual gameplay. But the art style and the voice is spot. Like, dude, I'm ready for that Blade game. I completely forgot about that. That would be my go-to. Let's do that. And you know what? Let's throw Ghost Rider in that game while we're at it, because he's a really cool character that deserves some justice.
I agree.
That's my thought. What are you looking forward to, though?
This is going to sound so weird, especially because I'm the one that asked the question. I don't know.
Superman.
I think I'm just so focused on getting us there and scheduling that I haven't even had. And again, stuff with work, like I told you, my schedule got tripled in the last. Yeah, thanks for the award. Now my schedule's swamped. Like, I don't think I've thought about what I want to see. Right. I love video games. I want to see video games, and obviously we're going to see that. I love a lot of the brands under Xbox. I'm interested to see how this community fan fest goes because I know how hard the people working on it are. I want to know, like, what are we going to see? What did I say? I said something dumb, didn't I?
He said, I know how hard the people working on it are.
How hardworking the people. Hardworking. Thank you. My blood sugars crashed a while ago. Yeah, that's embarrassing. I know how hard they are working on this project, the Community Fan Fest. So I'm just hopeful that they get a successful event and good project, and I want them to be happy. But honestly, I don't know, man. Like, I don't have a game that I'm desperate to see. We got Avowed, Assassin's Creed, and Doom this year already that I just adore all three of them.
Yeah.
And I haven't played Oblivion yet. Like,
you haven't played Indiana Jones yet either. You're crazy.
Stupid character.
God. I feel like you're at the point now with Indiana Jones that I was with Rivals when you wouldn't shut up about Rivals and I don't shut up about Indiana Jones, and we just aren't going to play the games that we want each other to play at this point. I think that's where we're at this point.
The problem with Indiana Jones for me is that, like, I have other stuff I want to play in my single player time. I just finished Everspace 2.
Yeah.
That game's so good.
The game came out forever ago too.
It took a while for me to get to.
Hey, Freight Conductor coming out, $20 money towards the lapel mics, maybe coffee. How dare you? Maybe a coffee, a cup of coffee at SGF. Sir, I will take that and see if I can find, because I've got the link right up here. I can't show it on here because it's got my address on there. But I could probably actually know. I am shopping as we speak for lapel mics.
Do we need that? I'm not dunking on you. Do we?
We don't need it, but it is going to be something that would be nice. We would be able to speak more freely without having to, like, there's a lot of background noise, and it has someone that has like a Rodecaster lapel mic that only hooks up to one phone that I'll be using for, like, when I do streams and stuff like that. But like the little lapel mics that you can get that are the wireless ones that Bluetooth up to your phone and stuff like that, they help cut out a lot of that background noise and capture just your audio. So it's not a need. This is very much a want that I'm going to, like, invest in for us. So and shout out to Freight Conductor for helping support with that as well too. So we'll get some coffee. We'll sit down and definitely see if we can do some Q&A for you guys if possible. Yeah,
it's all very helpful. Whew. Lord knows. And we are putting it all to use. Let's put it that way. All right. Logan, where can people find you? Where should people go to see the content you have coming?
If you guys want to check out the Mike Chapman interview, that's going to be going live for SGF during that weekend. That's the plan right now. So head over to Spotify, head over to YouTube. Keelhauled Podcast is where I do my Sea of Thieves content for that game. I got an episode coming out on Monday, as always, for folks that want to listen to something. If you guys just want to hear me read you, like, the phone book or something like that, we could work that out as well too. I've got a Patreon, so there's plenty of ways where I can start reading something for you if you just want to hear the voice. Outside of that, here going to be doing SGF stuff, prepping. I am not looking forward to wearing the Crocs. I've started to try and test out the Crocs, like, on my trips to the dumpster to drop off my trash, and I feel stupid putting them on and walking outside. I'm genuinely, like, looking over my shoulder to see if there are people who are watching me that see me in these, because I feel so wrong wearing these Crocs. It's bad. I don't understand it. It feels weird. So yeah, you can see me wearing Crocs at SGF for the flight there.
By the way, I need to send you assets so you can make shorts on your own editor.
I'm so glad you finished that word. You've been slipping.
I have. I'm sorry, guys. All right. If you haven't listened to the interview with Matt Piscatella, please do so. If you're able to drop some love on socials to him for joining us, it would be wonderful and appreciated. because he was very generous with his time.
Cool.
Thank you to everybody that supported us in getting to SGF financially, by sharing, by liking, all of that stuff. If you haven't hit that like button, please do so. You can find us in Discord all week. We'll be more available than we have been because our lives are theoretically starting to slow down. Maybe. So we would love to hang out with you guys there. That is going to be it from us. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Take care.